Hello and welcome to the Beckoning Bookshelf. I'm your host, Jeffrey Ashcraft. Today's a really special episode because I have my sister-in-law Jenny here, who is a librarian. So that's really cool. One of the coolest jobs ever, right?
Yes, very true.
Right? And now, we'll have a bonus episode on Thursday this week where we actually talk about her job as a librarian and libraries because they're fascinating. I think they're interesting.
Yes.
But first, we have a book to talk about that she picked. So what is this book?
This is The Isle of Blood and Stone, and I must apologize to the author. I do not know how to say her name. But
It's challenging. Yeah.
Lucier, I'm not sure, but that's the book for today.
Yeah, and so this was published in 2018, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay, and so published in 2018 by, what we were saying, Makiia?
Yeah, Makiia, I think. Probably.
Okay, I didn't look it up.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I have to look up names sometimes, because names can be so unique, but, the pronunciation is just all over the place sometimes.
Yeah,
You just don't know. Now, this looks like a library copy?
It was in the library sale. Yes.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yes, library. Yeah, it doesn't have the little library card pocket thing.
Right, we don't use those anymore.
That's so sad. Those were so cool because you could spy on who got the book before you.
True.
Yeah. So if I'm right, she has written 5 books.
Yes.
And this was book 2 of her published works.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, and then this is also part of a 2-book series.
Yes.
With the second book being called Song of the Abyss.
Song of the Abyss.
Song of the Abyss.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so you've read this book.
I have.
And have you read the sequel?
Yes.
Okay, are they both good?
They are both good.
Okay, excellent. So, and we'll talk about that more in a bit. So, to my knowledge, this book hasn't received any awards. Well, there was something about the Library Association, wasn't there?
Yes, American Library Association, top young adult pick, I believe.
Oh, yeah, I do remember reading that, yes. But it was on a lot of most anticipated lists, right?
Yes.
And it was the best pick I saw for a few organizations and a few libraries, more locally, that it was a best pick for young adult fiction and fantasy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, well, that's cool. And being 2018, there aren't any other, editions of this book. And I didn't see anything, notable about, this copy. This is clearly the hardback. But it seems just like a basic, nice hardback.
Yep.
Nice cover. There's a dragon on the cover. So, dragon, is that a dragon or a sea serpent?
It's actually a sea serpent.
I knew it! I thought as I said dragon, I was like, wait a minute. My bad. Well, sea serpents are dragons. They're just the aquatic dragons,
That's right. Yeah. That can be argued for, yes.
So, all right. So, how did you come across this book?
Well, this was one of the exciting treasure finds at a used book sale.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
So every once in a while, you'll get something really good at a used sale. I had never heard of it before. I bought it for $1.
$1?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good deal for a book. Yeah.
And then I read it and it was really good. And so then I bought the sequel for more than $1.
Yeah. So how long ago did you read this?
Well, the first time I read it was 4 years ago. So 2022, and then I reread it in anticipation of this video, so I just finished it again.
And you still like it?
I still like it.
Okay, that's good. So $1, you gotta love used book sales.
Yes,
they are so much fun. You can find so many cool books, and for so cheap.
Yes.
Oh, it's so much. I had some of my favorite books I've gotten at used book sales and they're just unknowns. It's it's a book you never anticipated to find because you've never heard of it.
Yep.
And even though it's a great book, it's just one you've never encountered before.
Right.
So it's always fun. It's always a fun treasure hunt. So, what is this book about?
So, this book is about, it centers around 2 main characters, and that is Elias and Mercedes. Elias is cartographer, a map maker for the kingdom, and Mercedes is the only living relative to the king. She's his cousin, and they basically stumble across a big mystery. Make sure you read the prologue.
Oh, the prologue's important. Some people skip the prologue.
I know. I am guilty, but I did not skip this one. It's very important to the story, so don't skip it.
Okay.
But Yeah, they stumble across a mystery. Elias's dad has been dead for 20 years, but they find a map he supposedly drew 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So they have to figure out the mystery of the map, and the day his dad died was also the day the two princes were kidnapped. So it's a very big mystery that they have to solve about the princes and Elias's dad. And they encounter, sea serpents and ghosts along the way and stuff like that. So
cool.
yeah, so that's the basis of the story.
Cool. Yeah, so I always love a good mystery.
Yes.
Like, a good mystery in a book is always so much fun, especially because when you're like, oh, I really want to know it. It's like 1 in the morning because you're reading just before bed. You're like, I gotta go to bed, but one more chapter.
Exactly.
And then you still don't get the answers you want, but you're like, one more chapter. It's okay. Then it's like 3 in the morning.
Yep.
Yeah. So, now, just random side note. So just for fun. So you skip prologues every now and again. Or you used to. Do you still skip prologues?
This book might have cured me.
Oh.
But I often skip prologues, especially if it's like a number 2, if it's just like reviewing what happened last time.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Then I already know because I just put it down at 3 in the morning. I'm not going to read the prologue. So, but yeah, I do think I'm a little bit cured because of this book. Oh, maybe they're important sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, then you get like Brandon Sanderson's The Way of Kings where it like has 3 prologues.
Yeah.
And like the story actually starts at like page 60.
Yes.
Do I skip this? It's 60 pages worth of content.
Right.
So, why did you pick this book when I asked you to... thanks for being here, but I did not thank her. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us and joining the viewers. So, why did you pick this book when I invited you to be on the channel?
Well, unique premise always goes a long way with me. And this book, to me, has a unique premise. Usually, especially in like a fantasy type book, the hero is, well, maybe the downtrodden's a lot of times the hero, but also a prince or something. And this was, the hero is a map maker. And it actually goes a lot into the map making process that they were doing. And how they went out.
Wow.
And, they had to go out on the ships to look at the land. And so that was interesting to me. And also the mystery. Because fantasy mixed with mystery was really cool to me. It's kind of like a whodunit fantasy, I think.
Oh, that's cool.
And I also like mysteries that they give you all the clues that you could guess the answer, but you still might not get it. So when it comes out, you're like, oh, duh, I should have got that. But you did it. So I really like that. And also the well-rounded characters, even the side characters have like rich history to them, which is very difficult to do. To portray, and especially in such a short amount of time. So I really like the characters' history and their humanity. You can really pick up on their humanity, even the bad guy's humanity. I won't say who that is.
Oh yeah, no spoilers.
but yeah, so that's why I picked this book.
Oh, cool. Now, just to be clear, I haven't read it yet. Partly because when I have a guest, you hear from me plenty. I want the guest to like have the spotlight and talk about the book and stuff like that. And I also want to highlight that you can talk about books that you haven't read just yet and you can learn about them. So I'm currently learning about this book along with you a little bit. I did know some of it prior. Now, speaking of this book, you and I talked briefly about its specific genre. Because we thought it was very interesting, because this book is classified as young adult historical fantasy.
Right.
And we thought that was interesting, as it's a historical fantasy, and you felt it like it didn't really fit the historical category.
Yes, that's true. Historical fantasy to me is more like when it's about a specific era of history. If they're adding fantastical elements to, say, like the Great Depression or a certain war or something like that. Or historical figures. This book has some historical elements like the drawing of the maps, but it's about totally made up places and totally made up people. It's all based on islands that don't really exist. So to me, it's more like pure fantasy or fantasy mystery, if you want to add that genre. I'm not sure. But
oh yeah, there we go. Add another genre.
But I don't really think it's a historical fantasy to me.
Gotcha. And yeah, we were talking like that it may be like, so in my opinion, for historical fantasy, I thought it was like a lot of historical fantasy. A lot of fantasy is historical because it takes place in castles, and then you have like modern fantasy. So, but I can understand historical fantasy now that she explained it a bit more to me. That's like a real taking a fantasy approach to a real event.
Yes.
In history. But so I was also thinking that the young adult genre has just really blossomed over the years. It's really expanded because when we were growing up, there wasn't a young adult genre. There were young adult books, but no genre. I remember when Barnes & Noble, when the young adult section was 2 bookshelves, and that was it. That was all there was.
Yeah, and now it's like half the store.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like so many, and that's a good thing,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
And so maybe they're adding all these more complex and specific genres to help differentiate the books.
Yes.
That was one thing we were considering. And just to give a little bit of history on the young adult genre, it really picked up in the late 90s and early 2000s with Harry Potter, Twilight, and Hunger Games.
Yes.
You know, that's where it really started to pick up, and a lot of booksellers realized, hey, we could market these books to young adults, to teenagers. Because prior to that, it was basically middle grade books or adult books.
Right.
And the young adult books were just mixed in with those somewhere.
Yeah. Yes.
You never knew where to find them.
Yeah.
So
very true.
Now, one last question for you about this.
Okay.
What's a good takeaway? Because one of the things that we often talk about on this channel is a good takeaway from the book. Because when you read the book, oftentimes it changes you in some way. It has good morals, has an interesting experience that you take from it, or there's some kind of connection that you get with other people or even with the author. So what's a good takeaway from this book for you?
Well, it might also go back to why I chose this book. I really love books that you can connect to on a human level, even if the story is fantastical and has ghosts and sea serpents. The characters themselves you can relate to. A lot of this book has to do, there's many themes, but a lot of it has to do with family and connections to family. Even the mystery of finding out what happened to his father and the lost princes for the king, who is a secondary character but almost a main character. And even Mercedes, there's a lot of connection to her family for some of the book that is spoilers. So read it. And even just father and children connections a lot in this book. So that's, I think, is what to take away from one of the things I take away from this book is just how important family is and family connections. And that is something that's really, so read it, you'll see. But that's something that's really good about this book.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. So, and it's just straight up entertaining. It's just an entertaining read.
Yes. It's very quick to read, very smooth, and entertaining for sure.
Oh, cool. Well, so have you guys read Isle of Blood and Bone? Blood and Stone. So, have you read any of her other books, by the way?
I have
apart
not.
from the sequel.
Apart from the sequel, I have not.
Okay.
I'm very curious about her other books, and just one note about the sequel: you don't have to read it.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Yeah, they are standalone. I actually picked up the sequel, like, oh, I like that author, and then I started reading it. Hey, wait a second, this is a sequel. Yeah, and then I did buy it. But so you can read this book by itself. Sorry, lost my train of thought for a second.
It happens.
And be fine. The sequel is like 8 years later. It has some of the same characters and the same settings, but it's its own story.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you for putting that out. So have you read Isle of Blood and Stone, and have you read the sequel? And if you do, what do you think? And are you excited to read them? And thank you for being here. Thank you very much for joining and talking about a book you enjoyed. And again, there's going to be a bonus episode this week where we discuss libraries and what she does at the library, and I will try not to rile her up. I'll play devil's advocate a little bit. And she's very defensive of libraries and books.
I am.
So, thank you very much for being here. Thank you always for being here. You are amazing. Now go find yourself a good book.